You always hear the reasons why people are moving to Florida, but rarely do you hear the reasons why they leave. If you are thinking of moving to Florida, you need to know both the good and the bad because choosing to move is a big decision. Here are 10 reasons why people are leaving Florida. My name's Alexandra and I'm a local realtor down on Florida's Space Coast. If you want to keep seeing videos about what it's like living on Florida's East Coast, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified every Friday morning when I post a new video. I have people calling me every day and I love it. So if you have any questions about what it would be like moving to our area, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text message, or send me an email. I've got your answers and I would love to hear from you. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, unrealistic expectations. Florida is a major vacation spot, but unfortunately, living here is not like vacationing here. Some people think that when they move here, that they're moving to the stress-free paradise that Florida is when you're on vacation. However, when you move, life moves with you. It's a hard lesson to learn for those with unrealistic expectations, and many of them will end up moving somewhere else and keeping Florida as their vacation spot. Number 2, in Florida, auto and homeowners insurance are higher than most other states in the nation. According to Bankrate.com, Florida is the 3rd most expensive state for auto insurance, just behind New York and Louisiana. Floridians pay almost 56% more on their auto insurance than the national average. According to Insurance.com, the average home insurance cost in Florida is nearly $1,441 more than the national average. It should also be noted that if you live near the coast, it can be challenging to find a homeowner's insurance policy that will cover your home due to the hurricanes. Some people don't want to deal with this and they end up moving. That leads us into number 3, hurricanes. Here in Florida, kids don't have snow days, they have hurricane days. This is a big one, and it's a major adjustment for anybody that has not grown up with hurricanes. Not being a native Floridian myself, it was very crazy to move here and know that during one season every year that we would have to board up our windows because storms were so strong that they might break them. When we first moved here, we lived beachside, which also meant that we had to evacuate when Hurricane Irma came through. While we do typically have several weeks' notice in advance before a hurricane comes our way, it is still very stressful to have to potentially evacuate and board up your house. Historically speaking, Brevard County takes hits from less hurricanes than anywhere else in Florida. However, the risk of devastating damage is just too much for some, and they end up leaving Florida. If you're interested to know what it's typically like riding out a hurricane on Florida's Space Coast, I'm going to put a link right here to a vlog-style video that I made of us riding out Hurricane Ian. Number 4, even in its bigger cities, Florida has a slower pace of life. This can be a major change for those moving from larger cities up north. Having lived in both Atlanta, Georgia and San Diego, California, I'll tell you, it was a little bit of a change for me as well. Due to the heat, it's pretty common to see people wearing flip-flops and shorts year-round, even when conducting business, and that was a little bit weird for me at first. Those who move to more touristy areas may find that the pace of life is even a little bit slower, because tourists, they're not on the clock, they're on vacation. Some folks end up missing the hustle and bustle of the big cities that they moved from and end up leaving Florida. Speaking of tourism, that leads us right into number 5, tourism. While tourism is great for the local economy, tourists come with longer lines, higher prices, more traffic, more trash left behind, and damage to the environment. Some people that move here just can't get past the idea that there are people that don't live here that are coming to our home and messing the place up. These people sometimes end up leaving for a less touristy area in another state. Number 6, politics. This is both a major reason why some people move here and why some people leave. In 2020, when most of the world was locked down, people were leaving blue states in droves for Florida, where residents had more freedoms. Florida is generally considered a swing state, but that's debatable. Floridians have not elected a Democratic governor since 1998, and they have not elected a Democratic legislature since 1994. So those moving from blue states may find that Florida is just a little bit too red for them, and they end up leaving to move back to another blue state. Number 7, heat and humidity. Similar to those who stay inside up north during the frigid temperatures of winter, Floridians hunker down in their homes during the hot, sweltering heat of the summers. Here in Florida, average summer temperatures are in the 80s, but it's not just heat that causes problems. Florida is extremely humid too. In fact, Florida is the second most humid state in the United States, just behind Alaska. Yeah, I said Alaska. I was surprised by that too. Florida's average relative humidity is about 74%, meaning that good hair days are few and far between. Some people just can't handle the heat and the humidity, and they choose to leave Florida for another state that has more mild temperatures. Number 8, lack of 4 seasons. Here in Florida, we pretty much have year-round summer. It does cool off a little bit in December, January, and maybe February, but not by much. The lack of autumn and winter, especially around the holidays, is a challenge for some. It's really hard to feel Christmassy when you're sweating bullets and the cicadas are still screeching. For this reason, some people choose to leave Florida for another state with more mild temperatures and 4 seasons. Number 9, wildlife and bugs. Here in Florida, we have mosquitoes, roaches, ants, house lizards, spiders, snakes, scorpions, alligators, sharks, fish, and countless other critters. Because of the year-round heat, these critters tend to be a little bit bigger than some of the northern states, and animals are more active year-round. A good pest control service will keep bugs out of your home, but it's not going to keep alligators out of your swimming pool and snakes out of your yard. Some people can adjust well to their new neighbors, but some do not adjust quite as well and end up leaving back to a state that has wildlife that they're more comfortable with. And finally, number 10, public transportation. Some people move here from larger cities where they're used to not needing a vehicle because they utilize public transportation. While we do have public transportation, it's nothing like the public transportation available in New York City, for example. Those that move here without a vehicle often find themselves frustrated and end up leaving to go back to a city where they don't have to drive. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Thanks for watching my video. Bye!